Welcome everybody to the Hatchett Way Boss Talk Edition, where you guys submit questions and I answer them. So this is sponsored by the audience. So if you guys want me to answer your questions, I charge a lot for private coaching. So sometimes people just want to send me some questions. There's a link below to pay. You email. I come on here and I answer your questions, give you honest, raw, hardcore feedback, Brother Dre style. So here goes some questions from a loyal supporter. How to navigate dating as a high-earning man. All right, this is great. Decide who you are. If you're a new school guy where she has to pay 50-50, whatever, that's on you. That's cool. If you're older school traditional where you'll be paying the most of the bills or all the bills, that's cool too. But decide who you are. That's step one. Step two, have a budget. So let's say that you are going to be paying most or all of everything. Have a budget. You cannot out earn a spender. If you're trying to please your woman who is a spender, she will outspend your earnings. So you have a budget. You have to be okay. So us as men need to be okay with being the bad guy or disappointing our loved ones or our woman, because they won't help us when we're broke and face an eviction or foreclosure. So you have a budget. If your budget does not work for her, you find a new woman. If your budget does not work for her, you find a new woman. So let's say she wants to go on 4 dates a week. Average date, at least in Atlanta, is 150, but your budget is 2 dates a month. That's it. Or a week. That's it. You stick to whatever your parameters are. She pouts. She's upset. She says, well, you said you'll provide. I said, yes, I will provide within my budget, right? So you need to state that early, have an uncomfortable conversation, but don't let your love or her beauty make you overspend. Be prepared to be the bad guy and be okay if she leaves. Don't try to convince her to stay. You can find a woman who will work with your budget and be happy to be there. Also, another caveat or 1B to that one is pick the woman who is into you more. Pick the woman who's into you more. So you're dating two women, trying to figure out who you settle down with or be committed to. You don't want to bounce around. Totally fine. You're into a woman 8 to 9 out of 10. I don't think men should ever love a woman 10 out of 10. It gets to be a little bit psychotic at that point and overly possessive. So 8 or 9 should be your max. Do not love a woman 10 out of 10. But she's into you a 6, a firm 6. But it's a noticeable difference between how much you're into her and how much she's into you. You're into another woman. You're into her a firm 6. She's into you an 8 or 9 out of 10, or maybe even a 10. You pick her, even though you're into the other woman more. Us men, we have a thing of being the hunter and all that stuff. Sounds good. Pick the chick who picks you. It makes life easier. It's easier to do everything with, and the relationship will be more enjoyable. That's a big one. All right. So budget and pick the woman who picks you. What should men do between the ages of 25 and 32 to ensure success? Max out a Roth IRA. Max out a Roth IRA. Max out a Roth IRA. Buy as many 2 through 4 unit or bigger properties as you possibly can. Now, I know we're in the age where a lot of people don't want jobs, don't want W-2 jobs. Get a W-2 job. Here's why. It'll be easier to get mortgage financing. Unless you've been in business for a few years and you have the tax returns and you can get a mortgage that way. If you aren't there yet with your business, get a W-2 job, get 2 of them, max out on the amount of properties you can get, max out on real estate. Real estate is your friend. It's not perfect, but it's one of the safest ways that I've seen for younger men to, when they get to my age, they're financially set and free, maybe even before they get to my age, because they did a few things right. You don't need a ton of properties to be free. So let's say you get 3-4 unit properties. You're at 16 units. Let's say you live in one of them at a time. You're at 11 units, bringing in income every month. You're ahead of 95% of the world. So IRA, you can start one with 25 or 50 bucks. Fidelity, Vanguard, any one of those companies. Start it today. Get some real estate. Max out on both of those. Do whatever menial job you can. As long as it's paying you, do an honest job, because you want to be able to be approved by the banks. Rock out. It isn't the end of the world if you're not your own boss full time at under 33. Sexual discipline. What's the importance of sexual discipline? There are diseases you can't get rid of. We're in a society that, I don't know when this happened, but people stopped talking about diseases. People stopped talking about STDs. People stopped talking about diseases. I do not know why. So sexual discipline is needed because you don't know what's going on out there. Now, I like the sling. I like chicks. I would say max Don't date more than 3 chicks at a time. That's my rule. It just gets messy, even if you're casual dating, even if everyone knows it gets messy past three. That's my maximum. But there are diseases out there, fam. There are diseases, and they're real. Unwanted pregnancies. You got two baby mamas the same age, same time frame. That hardly ever goes well, and it's very expensive and very taxing on the mental. So even if you're not in love, you're in a casual state of life. Tell the woman you're seeing, hey, I'm in a casual state in life. Are you seeing anybody else? Okay, let's agree to be sexually monogamous, even though we are open to date other people. And if we do have sex with those other people, we will be honest with each other. You don't have to lie to get sex. There's a woman who will fuck you for without being committed. They're out here plentiful. So be honest about what you're doing, but know that there are diseases you cannot get rid of. Last question. How have I managed longevity in the notary industry? I just do what works. I don't like being broke, so I do what works. I don't look to love everything I do. Some things I like a lot, some things I do love, some things are a little bit boring, but they pay well. I do what works because I don't like being broke. I do not like being without money. But one of the things I did that was very smart was I went from being self-employed. That's for me doing the jobs myself. So I still do some, but most of the jobs I outsource to being a nationwide signing agency. So I maxed out on how many jobs that I can do a day, just physically, body wise, right? So if I get a call to go do a job for $200, something for 10 minutes, that's a win, right? $200, 10 minutes, I call that a win. But I'm not capped off of how many jobs I can outsource around the country. So I have a mortgage company that pays me 175 per closing. I have notaries do the jobs for 80, 85, $100. I make between 85, $100 or so per closing. I could do as many of those a day because I'm not physically doing the jobs myself. So we go from self-employed to a nationwide agency, increase my income. All right. So that is it. The Hatchett's Way Boss Talk edition. Hope this helped you. If you want me to answer your question, the show is sponsored by you. So there's a link in the subject line. Pay the fee, send me the questions. I will do my best to answer them, and hope this brings you guys some guidance. If you want to book me for one-on-one coaching, the link is there as well. You guys have a great day. Boss Talk, baby. Oh. I'm a boss. I call a call. Yeah.